Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. We have begun Daniel fast and we are looking forward to this, but I thought I'd share with you something very small about what are we taking in Daniel fast and what are we not taking. When Daniel and his friends, looking at Daniel 1, you will see that Daniel and his friends in captivity, they were told to, they were taken into the king's palace and they were given very luxurious meals. But Daniel, Shadrach, and Abednego, they sought not to take of these foods. So in verse 8 it says, but Daniel resolved not to defile himself with the royal food and wine, and he asked the chief official for permission not to defile himself this way. Now God had caused the official to show favor and compassion to Daniel, but the official told Daniel, I am afraid of my lord the king, who has assigned you food and drink. Why should he see you are looking worse than the other young men in your age? The king would have my head because of you. So now this is Daniel approaching that chief official, asking him that we don't want to take the meats, we don't want to take the royal food, but we want to just give us water, vegetables and fruits. And this is the beginning of the journey, because they just got into Babylon. They are in captivity, and now the king Nebuchadnezzar selected young men from the Jewish community, that from the Israelites who were in captive in his land, that is there in Babylon, in captivity. So he selected these young men because he wanted to take them into training for 3 years. They were going into a training for 3 years. Yeah, so in these 3 years, they're going to be taught about the Babylon cultures. They're going to be taught about the administration of Babylon. They're going to be taught about the language of Babylon, the worshipping of the gods, and so. But Daniel resorted to himself and said, no, I'm not taking this meal. And lucky enough, Daniel, when he was doing this, he was given, he did it with his friends. Daniel said to the chief who had appointed over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. This is Daniel was again called Belteshazzar, Hananiah, Shadrach, Mishael, Abednego, Azariah, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Yeah, I think I've mixed them, but that is the order. Yeah, so now these guys are choosing not to take, you see, even their names were being changed, but they chose not to take the foods. So the chief is asking them, now if I choose to give you this food that you are requesting, then because they had to appear before the king in 3 weeks, also no, in 3 years. Now during the presentation, to see that they have understood, they were supposed to appear to the King Nebuchadnezzar, and he was a very brutal man, and he's the man who is responsible to taking them into captivity. And now when they are there and they have requested for these meals and they found favor, God caused the chief to give them favor, and the guy now accepted to give them only food, water, and not food, vegetables, water, and fruits. Then now, after 3 weeks, in fact, they asked him, test us for 10 days fast. If you have doubt, just test us for 10 days. For 10 days, they were tested, they were given whatever they had requested, and the man looked at them and said, wow, you are looking even healthier than verse 15. Let me just read it for you so that you don't say I'm taking it for myself. It says, at the end of 10 days, they looked healthy and better, nourished than any other young men who ate the royal food. So the guard, verse 16, so the guard took away their choice of food and wine, and they were to drink, and give them vegetables instead. So these 4 men, verse 17, God gave knowledge and understanding of all kinds of literature and learning, and Daniel could understand visions and dreams of all kinds. Imagine that, a simple discipline of a meal, a simple discipline of a meal caused these men to be able to be even more smarter. And so now when we are looking at this, then when you go to verse 10 is where we're getting our Daniel fast for 21. Why are we doing for 21 days? You'll find it in Daniel chapter 10 verse 2. It says, at that time I, Daniel, mourned for 3 weeks. I ate no choice food, no wine, no meat touched my lips, and I used no lotions until the 3 weeks were over. So this is a major reasons why we're doing Daniel fast. The type of foods they chose, then 3 weeks. The 10 days were a test to see that this was really working. And when it was working, the guy just removed it. And they were in training for 3 years. For 3 years. They're going to take the trainings for 3 years. So now you can imagine, after all this now, God was faithful to this man. So you might ask yourself, so what are we eating? Water, vegetable, and fruits. If you can add legumes. You can add natural foods. You can do. I initially had shared a poster out. I'll share it again in this. I'll just pinpoint it. But you can choose to do no processed foods. You can do a lot of water. Juices can be fresh juices, no sugar, no oils, maybe natural oils. What else? Legumes, cereals, not processed cereals. For us in Kenya, we have a lot of this. We have things like cassava, we have things like arrowroot, we have things like sweet potatoes, Irish potatoes, we have kideri, we have beans, we have green grams. All that you can just boil and do. Oh, I usually have a funny name for them, mashakura, but they're healthy. You can do them. You can just do a boil thing. No meats, no wine. We're going with natural food drinks. So water, a lot of water will be good for you. And also natural fruit juices. Yes, you can choose to have canned juices. Not canned juices, but canned fruits. But fresh. Like, try to do fresh fruits. Try to do fresh fruits. There are a lot in the market in our place where we live. There are a lot in the market, so it's easier to go in the market and get enough for yourself. You can do bananas. You can do maize flour, but the one you go to the machine and get it grinded for you, the local one. Kenyans understand, not the one in packet. The one in packet, they remove the top shells, like they pound it first before they do it, so that's why it's usually swifted. But now I'm talking about the one we go to the machine and grind ourselves. You can choose to do a mixture. Perhaps you can mix the maize flour, sorghum, and cassava and do those brown, nice brown gullies. Yeah, you can do sorghum, you can do millet, barley. Yeah, those things that you can find, whatever you can find within your area. Don't strain yourself. Go with what you can find within where you are. Okay, perhaps it's fruits, perhaps it's potatoes. You can boil potatoes, they're healthy. Just put a little bit of salt. We're not doing oil, but if you can afford and you can buy natural ones like coconut, you can get the natural ones. I think there is a company called I can't remember, but you can get them in the supermarket. I can do the extra virgin olive oils. You can do that, but just a little bit. Personally, they're quite expensive, so I usually go with natural. I just do, if I boil and I'm okay and I'm good. Tea is naughty. No sugar. For those of us who love tea, hi. Some sacrifices are worth it. So do no sugar, no tea, no caffeine, no coffee, no sodas. If you have to do drinks, just go with juices and water only. It will help you. That's those who are doing herbal teas. I really don't know. It depends with you. But to me, if it has some caffeine in it, it talked about no wine, so no alcohol. So choose. You go with what you think in your heart. It's giving you peace, and you think this is what you want. Yeah, and it will work. I believe when we are entering into a season of prayer, it is more about the posture of the heart and the willingness. You can be obedient with the foods, but you're not obedient with the prayer. So let us be obedient with prayer. And I pray that as you embark in this journey, may the Lord give you the strength, the wisdom, the counsel comes from the Holy Spirit. May He equip you, give you strength, that we may be able to enter into it and find peace. So I hope this introduction part has helped you to understand why we're doing Daniel fast, what it's all about, and why we are doing it. And I believe that God is going to reveal answers unto you, for you to just have a whole understanding of all these things we are doing. Why Daniel fast? Now you have an answer to why Daniel fast. What are you eating? because God has his own ways of reaching out to people. It's a way of fasting. It's a partial fast, by the way. So for those who want, can do maybe 6 to 6. Some can do maybe those who do 9 hours, 10 hours, depending on you. There are those who will just put away the meals and choose this discipline of taking these kinds of food. It's up to you. Over the years, that's what I've been doing. Like during these 21 days, I fast, but I take partially some meals. I had a condition of H. pylori some time back, so I couldn't stay without foods for some time, but now I can stay some hours without meals. So yeah, seek advice from your doctor, please. Yeah, when God is calling you into fast, he strengthens you, so he will strengthen you. But also you can seek advice from your doctor. If the doctor says you can do 10 hours, okay, do 10 hours. Then now when you're breaking your fast of the day, you can choose perhaps not to take the usual meals, but now take these meals that we have talked about. And for those who perhaps the sacrifice is they're fasting, but they're choosing not to eat anything from the other rich foods. I'm calling them rich foods, but like the processed foods, the meat and so, but you're choosing to do maybe only the meals that we have talked about. Yeah, for those, some of you will do maybe water and juices. That is well, that is okay too. So welcome on board, and I pray that the Lord will walk with you. Our theme of the year is praise, honor and thanksgiving under the Bible launch. That is what the Lord revealed unto me, and my name is Rosalia. Will walk with you through this journey. I didn't say my name, I think, when I was beginning. I'm just remembering now, but my name is not that important. It is the message of Christ. So now, as we're embarking in this journey, we pray that God will strengthen us and teach us. I'll walk with you through this journey for 21 days. I'll share with you devotions for 21 days. Every day, I will be uploading a devotion. Each day with a theme. Initially, I had already shared out in my group. I have a group, so I had already shared out only the scriptures, not the topics, only the scriptures. But in these videos, I'll be sharing scriptures and topics of the day and where we are anchoring ourselves onto. So I pray that the Lord will enable you to walk in this journey. He will walk with you. He is faithful. He is able to grant you the wishes and desires that you have today. May the Lord strengthen you. May the Lord give you peace. May the Lord walk with you. Let no fear cripple you, but strengthen you in every way of the journey. Shalom, shalom, and bye-bye. See you